Welcome to today's video where we'll be continuing with our intro to medical statistics. So here we have our dataset, the Penda Health Data that we downloaded, and it comes with a couple of files which we will open them in R to continue our hands-on experience. So I will open a blank R session now. So this is a blank R session. I just want to use this to show you how, or to remind you how to open a new R project. So we will click on this icon for new project. Then we will say new directory, new R project. We need to give our project a name. So I will say Penda, summarizing Penda summarizing data. Okay. That will be the name of our project, and then I'll say create project. So it will be created in this directory. Documents, projects, Penda summarizing data. So say create project. There it is. It opens up. You can see the environments are all empty. So now I will copy paste the data that we downloaded into this directory where all your files will be within one directory for better management of your project. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now we are ready to begin. All our projects, all our files, are within one directory, and now we can start working on our project. So the first place you want to start is the readme.md file, which is here. So this will outline the project details and how to go about them. So you take time and read through this, but basically they say that we should first create a .env file where we need to create our environment variables called data folder and output folder, where we will be having places to now load the data set and output whatever output that we want to do. Can be PDFs, can be plots, whatever. So for that, we will first open descriptives.r. So here they've provided us the code in which they used to do the analysis for the project. We will use that code. Additionally, we will also use this place as a, as a practicing space for our introduction to summarizing data. So this will be a very hands-on experience tutorial. So first things first, we highlight this set of code, and then we run them. So we can run over here, or you can press Command Enter or Control Enter. So I'll press that. So that means now that the libraries have been loaded, as you can see, and we are ready to continue. So remember, the first instruction was to create a .env file. So we can't run this unless we have a .env file. So if you run this, you see we get an error which says .env cannot be opened for reading because there is no .env file. So we come over here. Can just use R-script, for example, and just clear everything here. Then we say we have .env file. Okay, so that's our .env file, and we want to create some environments, some variables, like data folder and output folder. So for that, we come here. We'll first start with the data folder. So the data folder is here, the datasets. So we need to get this directory over here. So to do that, we simply come here, and first we need to get the working directory over where our project is at. So get working directory, and then you run that line of code. So this is where our project lives. So we'll highlight that, copy, and come here and paste. So this is where our project lives, but the data folder is over here, the datasets. So we provide that, datasets. And then our output folder, we will have to define our output folder because at the moment we don't have any folder to handle our outputs. So we will create new, and then we say we want this to be our output. Say OK. Then again, just copy the directory and add output. So we've already defined our variables in the .env file. So you can close that. And now when we run this code, we don't get this error or this warning message. So that means everything is okay. Then we come next here, we say to get the datasets, we say systems.get.env. We get the data folder loaded in our environment. So if you run that, we can see the data folder is loaded as a value. Then we also load the output folder. All right. And then we load the dictionary. So the dictionary, here it is. If you click it, it provides the names of the variables used in this study, as you can see. And it goes ahead to explain what they did. So if you have time, you can also go through this dictionary just to have a better sense of what we'll be doing or what the people from Penda Health used for their study. All right, great. So next, after loading our dictionary, after loading our data output and creating our data folder and creating our output folder, we will now load raw data from Packet file. So initially I said the files we have are Excel, CSV, or Excel. So there is also another form of data called Packet files. Also .json is one way in which you can store our data. So we will just highlight all of this and then run that line of code. So you will see over here, the environments have been reloaded. And now we have data. We have retro data. We have visit info. We have visit totality, recorded diagnosis. So great. So we are seeing things happening. So this was just a dictionary. Yeah. So great. So we have things happening. So now that we've loaded everything, let's go to the first bit of handling the data from the way these guys have done, and we see just what is happening. So this is simple because it's all about a matter of running their code, and then we write a bit of our code just to get a feel of what is happening. So over here, they say arrange data by visit number and take one record by visit number. So this is in the bits of data handling and preparation, where you want to change your data to be in a certain format for you to do analysis. So here they let's say arrange. So it's arrange data by visit number. So they want us to arrange the data by visit number. Arrange the data by visit number and take one record by visit number. So we come to the retro data. We arrange, simple words again, arrange by visit number, and then one record by record. Then you group by visit number. So here what the code is saying, just for explanation purpose, is that we want to arrange the data by visit number, but this has to be tied by the record ID because this record ID will be signifying the patient in this case. And then we want to group by visit number. And then slice one, just that means that we only take one recorded visit. So a patient might have come 2 or 3 times. So we don't want to record the third time. We just want to take one visit. So if you see over here, retro data has 1,765 observations. So if we come and run this line of code, you see we have dropped to 1,469. So from the paper again, if you can remember that the clinicians had instances where they queried the LLM more than once, for example, for a particular patient. So that is why the record was high at 1000, initially 765, I think so. So when we rerun the code, that means we only want to get one of the interactions between the clinicians, the LLM, and the patient. So that's why we have 1469 observation as per the paper. All right, so we are getting somewhere. So now we want to get the record age. So here they say go to the visit info dataset and then mutate the age in years. We need to turn them to numeric. So this is what code is saying. And we need to extract the age. And then we also need to gauge the age in months as numeric and then extract the age. Simple as that. So let us go to and at this visit info and look at how that data looks like for us to make that to make this code work. So over here on visit info, when I click this dataset and go to the age column, you see the age is 1 year, 3 months, 32 years, 4 years, 1 month, 23 years. So there is really not much you can do in terms of analysis, especially when you are mixing years and months and you have letters written. So we want this column to be in one class, which is a numeric class that will allow us to do some analysis. So a good example before I run this code, if I do class and run age, so sorry, if I do class and access the visit info table, the age column, and then run that, I will see it is a character. So by it being a character, that means we can't really do any analysis on it. So that means you have to do some pre-processing first so that we can be able to handle the age column. So I'll just highlight this code again and then run that. Okay, so if you go to visit info again, you will see that we now have age in years and age in months. So we are getting somewhere. Good. So lastly, okay, I think I'll leave that for now. And then in the next video, before we go to categorizing the age, because I can see this is categorization, we want to do some basic statistics on this bit so that we can now build on that content or on that knowledge that we've gained. All right.